Hello, you're listening to the award-winning To Hull and Back podcast, proudly sponsored by Old Zoological Bar in Hull. I'm your host, Nathaniel, and tonight I'm joined by Joe, Will, and Christian, and my cat Julian, who will hopefully be inaudible in the background, to discuss what we sort of thought was going to happen against Chelsea. I tweeted before the match that I could smell a mauling. Unfortunately, it was us that got mauled, not Chelsea. But I think there are still some positives to talk about from the match. And of course, as I've been trying to persuade Sergey, it's probably better not to be in the cup with the state of injuries, as there's injury news to talk about as well, of course. So happy Valentine's Day weekend to everyone as well. Did we do anything exciting yesterday?
No.
No? Christian, no?
I sat in my house alone.
I slept. I literally slept. There we go. That's what I did.
Wow.
Your wife is one happy woman then, Chris.
Yeah, she had a bit of peace and quiet. That's what it was. Why she was happy.
I went to see Wuthering Heights yesterday. It was mostly couples and older women in the showing.
Colour me shocked.
Yeah, but I went with two of my single male friends, and we had a lovely time. So that's what I got up to. Shall we talk about football?
Yeah, let's.
Yeah. Okay.
Where to begin? Did anything happen Friday night? I'm not sure it did.
Yeah, we lost 4-0, Joe. Stop trying to pretend that it didn't happen.
But look, the thing is, right, yes, it's 4-0, but it's Chelsea. We can't say we didn't see it coming. No. Unless you're Nathaniel and he predicted us to win.
Did I say win 4-0? I might have done.
No, you said win 3-1.
Oh, well, same difference.
You couldn't
Same
even
difference.
get that right.
And look, I think we gave a good account of ourselves. First half especially, I thought we defended really resolutely. We got away with a couple, yes, namely Estevao and Liam Delap.
Three. We got away with three, really.
But yeah, I thought overall, decent showing. Not too bothered about the result. Could we have had a goal towards the end? Maybe on another day. But by that point, Chelsea were just cruising. They'd taken their foot off the gas. And I think Rosenior probably wanted us to get a goal, to be fair. But yeah, on the whole, nobody got injured. McBurney got a rest. Hughes got a rest. Joffrey didn't start, so he got a bit of a rest.
Mm-hmm.
On the whole, not terrible.
Yeah,
for me.
Kumas, 90 minutes as first start and 90 minutes for him. So that will help him as well, because I thought he did okay and unlucky not to score at the end. But yeah, I think they gave a good account of themselves is probably a phrase we've heard a lot this weekend, because it is difficult to normally to find positives for 4-0 loss. But Chelsea, they're clearly not, but they're clearly the best team in the world because they won the World Cup. So that's how that works.
They are the world champs.
Exactly. I thought I wanted us to get through half an hour without conceding, because to be fair, when you compare our defense, our defensive display against Chelsea compared to sometimes, we conceded 3 to Bristol last week. It's 4 to Chelsea. So it's pretty comparable to what our defense is normally like. Of course, 4-0 down to Middlesbrough at halftime. So to go 39 minutes without conceding, and then it was, I think floodgates sort of open after the second goal, especially in the style that it was conceded. That was a poor one. But the first goal was just a great bit of quality and a tight space to get the shot into the bottom corner, and Neto played really well. So I think, was it Estevao who went round Phillips? He obviously should have scored. Delap.
Yeah.
Why he didn't score? It wasn't how. He could have just volleyed the ball into the net on the rebound when Phillips kicked it at him. Just incredible. So, we enjoyed those misses. I certainly did in the first half anyway.
I'd like to interrupt slightly and chip about one point you made saying, we conceded 3 to Bristol. conceded 4 to Chelsea. It's comparable. We had 4 clean sheets in the past weeks before that.
Yeah. Up until the last 2 games, it's been a good run, hasn't it? So, and people saying, "Oh, should we have played our strongest team?" Well, we can't play Hughes and McBurney.
We would have still lost 4-0 probably. Maybe 4-1 instead.
Probably would have lost.
We would have done.
Yeah.
We would still have lost. And like on team selection, I was on my way to the game when the teams got put out an hour to kick off, and I interrupted a conversation my dad was having with my best mate with the words, "Oh my God, he's starting McCarthy."
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, as much as I love Coyle as a lad, and he's done really well for the most part this season, I was terrified at the prospect of Coyle McCarthy coming up against Liam Delap. But I thought Coyle was really, really good. I thought he didn't get embarrassed. He got caught on the ball a couple of times where you could tell he was a little bit naive and wanted more time, expected more time, but was never going to get it. But I thought defensively, he did nothing wrong. And the same goes for McNair and John Egan as well. I thought the 3 of them were superb. Slater in midfield did a really, really... Like, Slater was our best player, 100%. I think Amir was a little bit of a passenger in that game for me, but Lundstrom came on and was even more of a passenger, I thought. I think he looks so far off it since he's come back from injury. He looks miles off it. And Kumas up front, I thought throughout the game, although he didn't do badly, we'd have benefited from an Ennis Destan up there, someone a little bit taller, a little bit more physical. Mm-hmm. But we haven't got that player unless they're Ollie McBurney. And if allegations on Twitter are correct, he was absolutely hammered sat in Adrian's box. So there's a reason he was sat up there and not on the pitch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it was quite right to rest McBurney, I think. I suppose Famewo and Hughes both have little knocks. So, and we probably need to play a back 5 against Chelsea with the sort of possession that we're going to have. So McCarthy did quite well. And I mean, he's only played even with substitute appearances, I don't know how many it is, but it must be 10 maximum. He's probably only had, 2 or 3 starts now, or maybe, like an extra one in the cup. So against Blackburn. So I don't know how many he's played, but he's still very inexperienced. But he looks like, this year we've got McNair and Egan and Ajayi will be back at some point. But next year, if, we're suspecting that we'll lose Hughes, McCarthy looks like, because he's played in midfield, that he can be good on the ball, pushing out there, and maybe better in the back 3. But he looks very promising, and I think maybe a higher ceiling than some players we've had through the academy recently, like Jacob, perhaps. So that's exciting, and he just seems to get better with every appearance.
It's only Coyle's second start. He's played 7 times for us, but it is only his second start. I mean, Middlesbrough might as well have been a start because he was on so early.
Yeah, the other one's the Blackburn game, innit?
The one's the Blackburn 3-0.
There's a lot of context around that.
Yeah.
Did not even start in the Blackburn FA Cup game. Wow, well, then he really is new.
He got subbed on.
Yeah. I think generally there were some balls in behind. I mean, especially for the Esteval one that he should have scored early in the first half where he took it around Phillips. But I think the only time that I think it was impressive that we were able to keep them at bay mostly, and they didn't get in behind a huge amount. Delap, the third goal when Delap goes past Egan, we saw him do that for City. That's not a skill issue. That's just pace. Egan is obviously not going to keep up with Delap. So you can't really blame them for that.
I do find it funny that Delap's getting absolutely rinsed for that game, despite the fact he got 3 assists.
Yeah. He won them the game, really, didn't he? Creating those goals.
I mean, why was he celebrating before that chance he missed? But he still got 3 assists.
Yeah. I mean, what did you think when the ball ricocheted off the lap and was seemingly heading for the goal. I mean, I was shocked because that's like a clear. If he's just confident enough to just tap it in with his left foot, then it would have been a goal. How? I mean, our goal has lived a charmed life at times, but never as much as in that first 39 minutes before Neto scored. Just incredible, really, because I think there was a block from Regan before that. So it could have been more. But, I mean, Christian, is that... What's the worst miss we've had this season? Was it that one? Because I feel like it's just a clear goal. Yeah.
Got to go back and think.
I still think the Potnick's maybe worse.
Yeah.
I think Will could be on.
Isaac Price and Carlin Grant, West Brom.
Yeah. Josh Sargent for Norwich. Ooh. He was on the goal line there.
He was
the awkward thing with Delap's, though, was it deflected off him and then bounced off the bar. So, and he said post-match, he said, and I quote here, "Swear on my life, I thought it was already in and I was just waiting for the referee to blow the whistle."
And to be fair, it was a good way in.
Yeah. It was a good way across the line, but it just had a little bit of backspin on it from when it cannoned off the bar. And that was that. Just a comment before we'll go back to this, but I want to mention it while the comments come up from Ollie. Garnacho constantly falling to the floor.
What's new there?
I really enjoyed Garnacho getting booed. It's the second time I've got to watch Alejandro Garnacho get booed at an away ground in a cup this season, just for the fact he's Alejandro Garnacho. Yeah. And as weird as it is quite funny.
Of course it's funny.
And we have no history with him. Hull City have no history with him at all, and yet everyone in that ground knows, Garnacho, I don't like him.
And the same happened at Lincoln in the Carabao Cup earlier this year. It was great. And Louis Coyle did a superb job up against Alejandro Garnacho, I thought. Superb job. What a way to mark getting a new 3-year contract by just rinsing Garnacho and winding Garnacho up. There's no better way to do it. Anyway, back to miss of the season.
Yeah, for me it has to be Sargent. I mean, we've had 2 penalties missed as well. Verpotnik, 2 of them in a row. Isaac Price, as you say, the lap on the Estevan one from Friday. It's just a huge.
That one was Swansea. Really. Swansea one as well.
Yeah,
that's Verpotnik. Yeah,
2 from Verpotnik. Yeah. Probably some more early on in the season. I mean, even Jakobsen, 1-on-1 last week, should have scored, and he didn't. So it's just, the list is adding up. I mean, when I make that compilation at the end of the season, and you do think about, have City been lucky or are they there on merit? But, I mean, really, I don't remember a season like it where, because last year it wasn't like that. The defence was decent, but we would usually concede 1 goal. But this time, dear me. I mean, of course, the quality from Chelsea.
All these misses doing nightmares for the XG.
Yes, indeed. XG was a lot lower for Chelsea than it has been for a lot of games. It didn't even reach 2. It was like 1.6. I know, we brought XG up, but we actually did okay. We actually did okay against Chelsea, XG-wise. So, got to count for something. It's just the quality of the finishing, really.
I think Kumas hitting the post helps us out a little bit with that. It just had no power on it.
He did quite well there, considering it was the last minute and he'd been running ragged for a 90.
Yeah, he did.
That's it. Bye.
That's Chelsea summed up. Onto QPR.
Well, shall we talk more about Louis Coyle's contract, maybe?
Just before we move away from Chelsea entirely, there's a couple of things I want to add. The balls we were looking for to Hirakawa, especially on the counter, I thought, I like that. I really like that. And it's just a shame that he was coming up against like Wesley Fofana and Jorel Hato, who are so just so physical. And I noticed this more in person, and I think everyone will notice it more in person. The physical gap between Championship players and Premier League players in just everything. You don't notice it when it's Premier League team against lower Premier League team, or even Prem team against Champ team on telly. But that was something else. Like the way Chelsea would recover from a mistake and in a typical Liam Rosenior fashion would knock it around. It was just ridiculous. And, when they turned on the style after goal 2 and then goal 3 and goal 4 before they sat off again, then you realised, there's a reason these lot won the Club World Cup.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, quality, obviously. You can't deny it, can you? But look, when you're spending that amount of money, you expect quality. So,
how many Regan Slaters were in that squad, Will?
Is that the value of the squad?
According to transfermarkt.co.uk, the Chelsea squad is worth the same as 20,178 Regan Slaters. And I know which one I would rather have, and it's definitely not the one that contains Cole Palmer.
Well, I'd rather have the one that was, winning the World Cup, but that's just me.
Yeah, but there's 20,000 of them, Nathaniel.
Well, it's like a small army, isn't it? But
it's like the regular attendance at the MKM.
Yeah.
When the day trippers aren't coming down to town.
Well, it depends. If you're just looking at it of how useful it would be football-wise, it's better to have the Chelsea squad. But if you want to, start a coup or something, maybe the 20,000 Regan Slaters would be more beneficial.
Maybe we're sending him over to Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And of course,
to get that though, we have got to clone Regan Slater 20,000 times.
That probably costs more than the Chelsea squad. To be fair, to find the technology.
Into that than into AI.
Yes, absolutely.
Another thing from Chelsea, I was very pleased Liam Rosenior got the reception he deserved. The sort of goodbye and farewell that he never properly had. I did think at times it was a little bit overkill with Rosenior going for about 10 minutes.
I thought Saga got quite a bit of songs as well with him this time around, which was quite nice. So
yeah, I noticed that we tried to do a Rosenior, then a Sergei straight after it, which I thought, that's a decent little touch.
Oh,
we chatted more about Rosenior than the Chelsea fans did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. Well, they would expect to be beating Hull City, wouldn't they? You know what? I saw one Chelsea fan on Twitter actually give us more praise than every other club in the Championship has this season. Because it's, why are all these other fans saying it's only Hull, that they're quite likely to be in the Premier League next year? Thank you. Because every other team in the Championship thinks we're awful.
Oh, that was that invert the wing account who gets accused of being Ryan Mason's burner, doesn't it?
Oh, wow. That's fun. Time to be negative, Nathaniel.
Oh, God.
The atmosphere was quite good, and I enjoyed it. It was a good event, and I felt like the fans were... And I think maybe partially because of where the fans were as well.
I'll say the reason why is because the fans were in the correct place where they should actually probably go.
Yeah.
Back to being going forward.
Mm-hmm. I agree. It worked well. I'm not looking forward to going back to the standard library for the more important league game where they actually need the support. And me and my friends were basically just grumbling at all the people that, and again, I should be more happy that people who went to the game that normally wouldn't, but it seemed busier, and there weren't that many more people there than normal. I mean, we sold out our end, or the home allocation against Swansea, didn't we? So I don't know why it seemed busier, but it did. I don't know why.
The West Upper Concourse was unsafe, is how I would call it.
Yes.
I
agree.
When I walked in the turnstile and up the stairs, up to a point, I could walk towards to go out to the stand to my seat. But right up to the actual, how do I explain this? Essentially, because everyone was just stood still like idiots, not going anywhere, I had to cut through the toilet to come back out the other side and then out into the stands. And the bloke sat next to me did say that when he was coming in, he saw a bloke in a Chelsea coat coming in the home end, which I thought was diabolical.
Yeah. For that sort of game, you are going to get more people that wouldn't normally go because it's the attraction of Chelsea and maybe more families.
No,
so I
except the day
understand it.
trippers.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Getting
glad
half
you.
and half scarves.
I
They
was
were
going to
selling them outside the ground. I saw them.
tourists. That's what I was saying all Friday night. Tourists in the way, and I shouldn't be like that because it's nice that people wanted to go, but
Fans need to be more reactive to those. They need to start setting fire to those carts that have half and half scarves.
I thought you meant the people. Yeah.
No, that's a bit too far. Just replace the merchandise. It sends a message.
Yes, I agree. But yes, so hopefully, because we've had that good atmosphere, it will be good against QPR because, of course, we need to get into the playoffs and you've got to back the lads, but it won't. It won't be. The QPR fans will be chanting very, very soon into the game, football in a library, as everyone does. And we talked about it last week, but I enjoyed the atmosphere and it reminded me of what it can be like. So, I don't chant a huge amount, but I am in the West Upper. I don't want to be the only one.
Yeah, I'm in the press box. It's kind of frowned upon.
Exactly. Yeah. But you were saying it was good that Rosenior got a good reception because he did do a good job here. And I'm glad, to be honest, that he did get a good reaction, that I was the only person booing him. So I'm happy that I was the only one. No, I didn't.
The one thing that makes me most happy is like he got the picture of Adjun, so it kind of puts it full circle, the whole
it does.
Story behind Adjun and Liam. They're fine.
Yeah. It puts a line under it, and that's kind of wholesome.
Now we can move on.
Yeah. We're not going to, but let's talk about it more. What did you think of Rosenior getting sacked? No, we're not really going to do that. But, maybe if they can keep that relationship and if he can keep his job at Chelsea until next year, which isn't a given, then maybe we can get some loans off them as well.
Get some Jesse Derry on loan.
Get who, sorry?
Jesse Derry.
Jesse Derry. He came on. He played for God's sake.
Was he the left winger, the blonde one? 55
it looked a bit
or
like
something?
Mudrick, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he looked good. He went round some people. He looked good. Yeah, I wouldn't mind him. Absolutely. Of course, when we're in the Premier League, we'll obviously be able to attract a higher caliber of player from.
Well, send a lot back towards that.
Well, oh yes, you've reminded me. My mum wanted to bring up that she wasn't watching the game, but she was listening to it because she was in the room whilst it was on, and she said, "Oh, Liam Delap, is he playing well for City tonight?" Because she heard the name.
Yes.
So
he played great. It's just the wrong colours.
I was the only one booing Delap as well. So
I did quite like the little moment pre-match as well, where Liam Rosenior hugged Aaron McLean on the pitch, who was doing punditry for the FA highlights package. I thought, bloody hell, those two have taken different post-playing career paths, haven't they?
Yeah. Well,
I just thought that was a nice little moment. Two players from that side that took us up 13 years ago.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot less stressful, I'm sure, doing the commentary than it is being a manager. So I don't blame him. Yeah.
Yeah, if I had to choose one of the two jobs, it'd probably be McLean's.
But the Rosenior job or the Chelsea job does get you a lot more money, to be fair.
There is that.
It requires getting it in the first place.
Well, that's pretty easy. The difficult one is to get the Strasbourg job. Once you're at Gary O'Neill is going to be the next Chelsea manager because he's at Strasbourg now, so it's just bound to happen.
Brilliant. Anyway, line drawn under Liam Rosenior. Everyone's happy.
Well,
He still loves the club.
until we get Brighton in the League Cup next year when Rosenior's there.
Rosenior's only lost to Arsenal since he's been at Chelsea.
What you on about? Oh, what the fuck you on about? He's going to be England manager next, Nathaniel.
Well,
Being so
what, in 2029 after Tuchel?
Yeah.
When Tuchel's contracts ran out.
Yeah. Because no manager has ever been sacked before his contract's been up. It's never, ever happened.
No, but it's more uncommon at international management level.
It is. Especially for England, yeah. True. Right, moving rapidly on then.
We were going to talk about Louis Coyle, weren't we?
Yes. Again, we've spoken a lot about him. I think it's fairly obvious that he has a lot to offer. I think it's also fairly obvious, and I thought it was going to be more obviously exposed that, you know, his lack of pace at times isn't great up against Garnacho, but he did quite well. But he's exactly the sort of person you want at the club. And this year, you know, he's got his contract. I hope Slater gets his, you know, going up from League One, hopefully to the Premier League would be a great story. And, you know, he's here for another 3 years. And, you know, he's a leader. He's our leader. And I love him. You know, I
don't think the contract was long enough.
Yes, precisely. He deserves to be here for the rest of his career, even as a backup choice. I'm sure he'd be very good for that. Plus, you know, I know Drama has been injured, but he has been our number one right back for years now, and we've signed a few of them. Adrian loves to sign players, and yet he doesn't really feel the need to spend big money on a fullback because Coyle's reliable there. So, fully deserved.
Old reliable Louis Coyle. Interesting how last season it was Regan Slater's League One level, and now this year Regan Slater is arguably outside of McBurney our best
and should
player.
be getting a contract as well.
And he will get that, I'm sure of it, because the club want to keep him around.
To.
And Louis, is he the best right back in the Championship? No. But what he lacks in that, he makes up for in the fact that he would play with two broken legs if he had to. If he had no choice but to, that's exactly what he'd do for the football club. He loves it. He bleeds black and amber. Keep him here until he retires. Give him that opportunity. And just let him retire when he wants. Just keep extending the contract as long as he needs it. And I think it was quite interesting what Louis admitted himself in his interviews around the time that that the contract was signed. That he said, for the first time in my career, I asked what a different number on it was, which I thought was a really nice line, because he knows that he's coming towards the end of his peak, so to speak. And Louis, keep him here until he retires. Why not?
And I think he knows, especially as the captain at a Adrian owned club, that he's going to be getting paid quite well. Adrian's quite happy to pay his players well, so he doesn't need to worry about that. It's just the length of the contract, isn't it? Yeah, Louis still gets so much hate, ridiculous. Absolutely. You know, he's doing really well this year. I think he's got the most assists in a single season for us this year, potentially. I think that's right. I'll have to go fact check myself in a moment, but he's contributing that way. Of course, it helps when you've got better players up front to support. But yeah, he's doing very well. So we just need to get the contract for Slater sorted now, because he's worth a lot more than £50,000. We always say 50 grand, but you know, he's not been worth that much for quite a while now, or ever really. You know, Sheffield United did us a favour.
Well, the transfer market site that says that the Chelsea squad's worth 1.16 billion euros also has Slater's worth at down at about 3 million.
Well,
it's a lot more than 50,000.
Yeah, that's fairly standard for like a decent Championship midfielder, I'd say. You know, but yeah, I wouldn't want to sell him. He's like a Paul McShane. You know, don't sell Regan Slater. We want to keep that chant forever, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Interesting, isn't it? How we thought at the start of this season that Regan would be fifth, maybe sixth choice in central midfield once Matazo was back, and after we signed Lundstrom, Amir, we still had Crooks. We brought JB in, and now we're thinking, God, who's gonna? We just need a reliable midfield partner who's exactly like Regan Slater. Whether that's Crooks when he comes back, hopefully Matazo stays fit. But we do have to box off 6 weeks when he won't.
Yeah, he's not staying fit, is he? Isn't it his birthday today?
Today, yeah.
It's almost like multiple managers, whether they're good or bad, have always picked these players almost like they're good players. And they know these people have more of an idea of the decisions that they're making than someone with a load of random numbers in their username on Twitter.
No, it can't be that. It's ridiculous.
Nah, it's just Hull bias. That's all it is. Ignore the fact that Regan's from Sheffield. It's just Hull bias.
To be fair, partially it is because of the situation we've had this season. It is also sometimes just that they don't get injured very much, so they kind of have to play them.
Well, that's why you need these players, right?
Yes.
Louis Coyle is. Well, if Louis Coyle is injured, he doesn't care. He still plays. Regan Slater is never injured. Like, Louis has played with broken eye sockets, black eyes, a scrum cap on this year.
He had a rib issue, didn't he, at one point? Did he have a broken rib?
Ribs. Yeah, and whenever he's injured, he's just not phased by it, which I absolutely love. And then Regan is never injured.
Yeah, I can't really think of him being out for very long, ever. So you're right. That is sort of what you need, isn't it? Whereas, Collier, he's out 3 weeks now.
Oh,
just
yeah.
typical. Just typical. I think we're looking at Lundstrom. I'm not convinced. I think he was okay before his injury, but when you get to that age, he's 31 now, isn't he? I think we saw the same with Cyrus Christie at a similar age. He got an injury for a few months, and when he came back, he just wasn't quite as good. I think because he's played a lot of football, so I don't think he's had a major injury like he's had this season in the previous years. Maybe that is him. He can't reach that level, or it'll take him a while, only after proper pre-season. So yeah, I think Amir's done all right. I think Collier's out now, so probably is just Amir second choice to Crooks when he comes back. We need him back.
Yeah, I think the midfield.
It'll be him, won't it? Yeah, Crooks has been so very important. So he'll be straight back in as soon as he's fit. And Crooks, who's a number 10, and Slater is not the two players that in the midfield that we thought we were going to be playing, but it just seems to have worked quite well. You're all muted. This is strange. I'm doing the podcast by myself.
Just thought it would be quiet for you, mate.
Oh, I can shut up for a bit. So, yeah.
Right. Who's taking over then?
This is a great spot for the advert.
I'm just going to show my cat. So for the audio listeners, sorry.
No, let's. I think the next thing to move on would most likely be QPR, I guess, is it?
I've got one last question to pose. Re the midfield. Would we be signing Lundstrom in the summer? Because I certainly would not. When Lundstrom came in, I said, that's a great signing.
And it was a good signing until he got injured.
We can keep him fit. And he was a brilliant signing. Like you say, Will, before that injury against Sheffield United, then he had two relatively big injuries, one after the other. And I don't doubt he's a big character in the dressing room, but he just looks so far off it. He looks so leggy. And I think in English football, in the Championship, I think this is John Lundstrom done, which is a shame given how many good years of service he gave Sheffield United. But I think these two injuries have, sent him on a slippery slope, like you say, Nathaniel, that Cyrus Christie had with his big knee injury in between season at the end of 22-23 into the start of 23-24.
Yeah. It's such a shame Jarbe got injured as well, because I think he was improving just as Lundstrom went out.
We won't need him anyway because we're getting Oscar Zambrano from Maribor probably in the summer.
Oh, yes, your favourite player, Joe.
Yeah, you might be right there, Will.
Yeah.
Then there's Amir as well, though.
I like Amir.
I don't
like him.
think he stays, I'm going to be honest.
No.
Yeah, I
can't
agree.
run.
I don't think he stays. Yeah, he's just... Don't get me wrong, he's doing his little fundamentally bits right, with his passing and kind of movement, but his tracking and his pace, he's always seems to be behind play just a little bit now and then. Not saying he's absolutely rubbish, I'm not, because he's genuinely improved and he's actually kind of, I don't know, flipped the switch on a lot of fans, because a lot of fans wrote him off completely. And I do believe a lot of people are kind of coming around to him here playing, but still, you just don't see him as a summer signing, do you, really? I mean, I don't see how he would fit in as well with a fit Matazzo, Zambrano, Slater. He wouldn't get as many minutes as you would think. And I'm pretty confident now we're out of this embargo, we're going to be signing a heck of a lot of midfielders. And
we have to.
Yeah, I think we still need to kind of, obviously, when it comes to the summer, not go crazy, but we do have a lot of gaps to kind of fill still. I mean, look, I know Louis Coyle's just signed a new contract, as we've all just been praising about, but I still feel we need someone to kind of take the rein off Louis Coyle. And I don't mean someone that's just going to come in and kick him out to the back seat. Maybe someone who's on par but has the potential to get a lot better under his stewardship. Let's just say under his guidance.
Age on their side.
Yeah, age on their side to the point of about, I don't want to say equal ability because no one's got an equal ability, but at least the skill set to kind of improve under his guidance. So I do feel we definitely need a right back there. Centre backs as well. I know we're kind of covered in that department currently, but pace at centre back is one thing that we are in screaming dire need of, is pace at the back. So it all kind of comes down to the summer, like we say. Midfielders, central midfielders is crazy. Backup striker, because look, for all the effort Carl Joseph puts in, he can't stop missing really, really good opportunities. He had one at Chelsea as well, that all he had to do was side foot it in, right near the dying end. I don't know how he missed it, but he did. Not saying that we were, overly deserving of goals, but when someone like that,
I mean, to be fair to Joseph, though, it wasn't quite an Esteval miss.
No, it wasn't an Esteval miss. No, it wasn't. But still, he had the opportunity to kind of do that. So there's a lot to kind of go through, and especially now we've been talking about Slater saying, midfield wise, you're right. How good has he been this season? Like, I think we said it I think I might have said it last week. He's down for my player of the season so far. I know a lot of people will be saying, well, what about McBurney?
I'll be saying
McBurney, but McBurney gets your goals. I agree. I do. I 100% agree. Fan favourite, gets your goals. But if you want some work ethic, minutes on the pitch, over and over again, Mr. Dependable, he's back there. I mean, look at the game against Chelsea just now. He was probably the one player on the pitch that didn't actually look out of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
He was very competitive in his tackles. He won a lot of his challenges. He spread a lot of play. When we conceded, he was the guy screaming at everybody in the middle, going, "Come on, get your head up. Let's do this again. Let's just keep going and keep going." And when I see a player doing that type of thing, you can't not turn around and say, "Wow, what a season you're having." So yeah, he needs to be tied down as soon as possible, because I'm actually kind of concerned if we don't tie this down and we lose Slater this summer. I'm actually a bit concerned of
We need a
that.
whole
So
new
we need,
midfield.
we will, and well,
I don't think we'll be losing Slaters. I think the club are offering him a new contract.
we've got. Oh no, I'm not saying the club won't offer it. I'm not saying the club isn't going to offer it. I'm not suggesting that at all. No, what I'm suggesting is, will Reeks take it?
Regan will take it 100%. Regan's spoken in the presser before. He said, yeah, I want to stay, but we've not had any conversations about it as yet. I'm just keeping my head down and seeing where we end up. And now that they've got Coyle done and the Egan's got an extra year as well, Regan will be next on the list for sure.
And I'm sure it'll be easier to get people down onto longer contracts at this stage of the season, given how well we're doing compared to how it would have been last year, when going into that last international break, there was that rumour that they told all the players, we don't want you next year. I mean, no wonder they put in some of those performances at the end of the year. So,
we also had to cut a lot of dead wood at the end of last year as well, didn't we? Cynic as an example. This year we've got a lot of players who
fucking chill went down my spine at that name.
I know. That, to be fair, I did get goosebumps when you said that. I just went like that.
We've got a lot of players who we might lose just because they're on loan.
Conor Mayer still technically belongs to us, doesn't he?
Yeah, he'll be going.
He's not out of contract for another year. But yeah, the only first teamers that were out of contract, significant ones, were Coyle, Egan, and Slater. So the rest are 21s lads, where it's quite common for them to be bouncing from contract to contract on 1-year deals because that's the way the club do it. And the loanees.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a struggle, but I still can't get him the bench for Bolton. He was there.
He started really well, but I think he's gone off the boil.
He has.
Yeah, he wanted their top goal scorer, and then
I think he still is their top scorer.
Yeah, he's still their top goal scorer. He took a knock though, didn't he? Yeah, he took a knock. He's done the old. I've taken a knock. I've come back half the player I was, like everybody else has this season. And yeah, I mean, God, yeah, Bairstow was doing amazing, if anything. I think this season, before we move on, sorry, gents, I think this season, Hull, the club, the fan base, the player base, everything about Hull, we've learned a lot this season. Like, really learned a lot about ourselves. I think the club's learned a lot about how they can manage things and purchasing and the communication side of things. I think Sergei has brought a massive wave of relief into the fan base as well with how open he is. And I think this is why this season, with a lot of the fans and the way they're communicating to each other and how we're talking, this kind of excitement that's been at the club of obviously, we're doing this, and expectations wise, we were all expecting to get relegated or, well, just outside, the pundits were saying we're a relegation. We were saying just outside, bottom half. And to be where we are, obviously over expectations for everybody, even our own fans, overperforming as well. It's really good to kind of get that thing where we're all on the kind of same wavelength now of, we're doing really, really good. But we are overly that disheartened as well when certain things do happen, because we are currently achieving over expectation. And
anything's an improvement on last year, no matter what it was, as long as we didn't go down. And the thing we can take most out of Chelsea is because it wasn't a tonking, heads didn't go down. There's a great mentality within that group. Sergei will be here next season, going into next season.
He's more important than anybody. He's more important than anybody at the club in my eyes, Sergei.
And
we won't sack him. He might take a better job, but we didn't think we were going to sack Rosenior, but he won't sack him.
And what we can take from Chelsea is the heads didn't drop, and because they gave a good account of themselves, they can take that belief into the next couple of games in the league and bounce back from the Bristol City defeat by taking that into QPR, Derby, Pompey, Millwall, Wrexham, all one after the other.
Yeah.
As Ollie's put in chat, mention to the 3 academy lads who signed pro deals earlier this week, Ramel, Carter, Josh Okoye, and Bobby Moore. Keep an eye out for Bobby out of the 3, I'd say. Ramel and Josh are good players, but Bobby Moore, 17 years old, he's a special talent.
What, a lad called Bobby Moore, who's a central defender, is a special talent?
He's been pushed forward into midfield a little bit more this year. Holding midfield.
Put him back. Put him back. It's not right.
Curry's meant to be a centre back.
Bobby's superb. Like he runs about like a little pit bull. He's superb to watch play football because he will just twat people if it's not going his way, and that will mellow with age, I'm sure. But keep a bit of that aggression and keep that fight, that heart, and you've got the foundations of a really good player. Then you stick his technical ability on top of that. And yeah, he's a really, really good talent. He'll go on and have a very good career in the EFL at least, if not higher.
Well, hopefully with us. All right.
Hopefully
well,
with
we've got time, haven't we, to do a little experiment? Have we got time for an experiment? Yeah. Well, I'm the host, so yes, we do. Maybe we should do this at the end of the season.
God.
But shall we look through the summer transfers and actually say how many of them have been great successes? Because I feel like generally, and the club have done very well in the transfer market this year. But I mean, Dylan Phillips. I mean, he's the 3rd choice goalkeeper.
What do you mean, Dylan Phillips? You started with Dylan Phillips. We've got Gustavo Puerta and Ray Alalawi to rate first. Come on.
Well, they are here on the list. It does say Puerta, but I mean, we're not going into that again.
I mean, they've been superb signings. They've gone so well.
Well,
I'm back for them almost immediately.
Louis hasn't even played a single game for Westerlo because he's been injured. But we'll ignore them. I mean, Dylan Phillips has played 3 games, and I think it's odds on he won't play another game for the club. We're probably going to be able to get a better goalkeeper in when we're able to spend money. So, I mean, Ajin's going to splurge on anyone.
I still think we'll go back in for Seni Dieng in the summer, or Lotta Tyler will be our number 2.
Yeah, he's doing well. Of course, he saved 3 penalties in the Pepper John's round of quarterfinal. I think it was the quarterfinal actually for Doncaster.
In the Pepper John's round of quarterfinal.
That's what they call it in the Pepper John's. They don't even call it the Pepper John's Trophy anymore. But Phillips, I mean,
now.
I guess the Phillips signing has been a success in the sense that he exists so that there's someone on the bench. But other than that, it doesn't really affect what we do. Ajayi, the risk there was that he was going to get injured, and he did. Firmino again,
and then
injury record.
He's been good.
He has been good, but he got injured again, hasn't he? So it kind of 50-50 on that, really.
No. I think Ajayi's been a good signing because he has played quite a few games for City this season, and we've looked quite good when he's actually played.
He's played 12, but you're right, good player. We'll see how many more we can play. Firmino.
Remember, he couldn't play for an entire month because of a competition.
True. That's true.
And then he can't play for the subsequent 3 months because of the 3rd place playoff of said competition.
Yes.
Yeah. Firmino.
The other thing you've got to remember with all of them, Nathaniel, sorry, before you continue, is they're all free.
Well, precisely. Yeah. Firmino's been fine. He's getting better. I think that's certainly one that looks like it could be a success, but wouldn't just say that just yet. And Dara, failure because he's gone. Lundstrom. No. Lundstrom, we've talked about him today.
Started well, but completely gone off the boil.
Yeah, Destan, injured and then gone. So, don't know. I mean, I like him. I think he could be a success, but wouldn't say it's a roaring one just yet. McBurney, he's bang average.
I think that's called 10 on 10.
Yes. Gerhardt, again, I mean, he's been great. We signed him last year, so, sort of lower risk on that one. But obviously that's been a success. Akintola, not gone,
Shite.
but going.
Absolute shite.
Well, Brandon Williams, gone.
Evil bastards.
Shite.
Not leave Big Dave alone.
Absolute shite, Brandon Williams.
We would not have beaten Sheffield United without that man.
Well, maybe we would have done, because maybe whoever else would have played would have scored a goal that was, not an own goal, but okay.
Yeah, but then you could say, if McBurney had played in this, if someone else had played instead of McBurney, they might have scored a hat-trick.
Yeah, fair enough. Hajimatovic, it's been all right.
Average.
Done a job.
Solid.
Yeah. I mean, JB, done okay, injured. So it's not, there's a few mixed ones in there, and it depends on how you would define a success or not. But
I imagine
honestly,
that's probably quite similar for a lot of clubs near the top of the table, transfer business-wise. A few successes and a few misses.
Yeah.
I feel like this year, obviously, we have Jakirovic, which is that's the biggest change from last year.
Signing a lot.
Absolutely. But generally, I feel like in terms of players that are like obvious improvements in quality, for example, we have like different midfielders with Hajimatovic in there, but I wouldn't say he's better than Alzate or Puerta. Giles being in the team compared to when he wasn't in the back end of last year. Of course, we already had Gelhardt. Really, it's just McBurney. McBurney's signing is huge, not only because of his quality, but his leadership and who else he was able to attract, and his leadership and sort of off the field, what he does for the club as well. He's the major one. I still can't believe that you didn't take the risk and say, oh no, Destan's going to be the top goal scorer this season. So I can be on my high horse with that prediction. Well, speaking of predictions, do you want to mock me, Will, for a bit?
Why wouldn't I? Why would I say no to that possibility? Well,
go on.
Obviously, everyone who is sensible predicted us to lose to Chelsea. And there was only one human who didn't predict us to lose, and that was Nathaniel Shock Horror, who, I mean, fair play, went for the magic of the cup. Unfortunately, the magic went to Mansfield instead. And the robot doesn't know what it's doing because it's a robot.
Yeah. At least it has an excuse. I have no excuse.
And as a result, the tables stayed pretty similar, apart from the fact that Joe's caught up to Nathaniel. He's an hour point behind him instead.
Okay.
Well, mid-table, I'll take that. Albeit low mid-table. I'm beating the robot, so,
Yeah,
at least I've got that.
The 1-1 bot was sat in fourth for ages, wasn't it? I hope we can all at least beat the 1-1 bot.
Yeah. We don't draw games, do we? We lose or win. So
yeah,
it's not really had a good year. Yeah. Well, shall we do a little bit of a preview for QPR then?
Let's.
Yeah. So we're playing QPR. Thoughts? Shall I ask a better question?
Okay, side. They beat us earlier in the season.
They're up and down, aren't they? They're an up and down team. They're a team that's not obviously just had an easy, kind of straightforward season. I mean, it was, what was it, their right back got sent off last game. I forgot what it's called now, game moving head.
And they've got an awful lot of injuries as well, haven't they? Like I'm looking in front of me, Ilias Chair, Ruman Burrell, Karamoko Dembele, Kwame Poku, Ziad Larkeche, Jonathan Varane, who's a brilliant player, I think, and Justin Abikwu, who they signed in January, he had a brilliant loan at Lincoln at the start of this year. They really liked him. And he'll be a good champ striker in the future for sure. but he's injured, so that's a benefit to us.
It's a great opportunity for City, but they shouldn't take QPR lightly because, as we said, they've already beaten us this season. And so far, we haven't won on this home run that we've had. So they need to turn that round and just get back in the points.
Yeah.
I'll say what I said about QPR before the podcast started. They're trash and we'll murder them.
And if someone clips this, make sure to remember he's the other one who said that.
True.
Yeah.
Because as we all know, it's impossible to win any games when you have a big injury list, isn't it? Absolutely impossible.
Yeah.
So.
About that. QPR as well also haven't scored a goal in the league away from home.
Leave it there, yeah. All season.
This year. Last time they scored in all competitions away from home was West Ham when they lost in the FA Cup third round. But before that, in the league,
that is this year.
I said in the league, and then I've changed the metric.
Moving the goalposts.
Before that, in the league, it was away at West Brom on the 29th of December when they lost 2-1. That was the last time they scored a goal away from home in league action. So, is typical City on the cards?
Of course, it is. Harry Vale's going to score like for 30 yards.
Twice.
Well, Harvey Vale did start the last game. So did Isaac Hayden.
I think we'll take some positives from the QPR game. McBurney and Hughes resting will help them. I think we'll probably have a bit more of the ball than certainly against Watford and Chelsea, obviously.
We'll have more than we had against Chelsea.
Yeah, I reckon it's possible. It's not 100% given the way we play, but it's certainly possible.
I'll be deeply concerned if we don't.
Well, I'd be concerned, but we might win based off that anyway. But no, you've got to back City to win, haven't you?
I think so.
This is concerning. And you'll never back City to win when it's a winnable
I know,
game.
that's been me worry a lot.
Well, people have been saying that we've had a bit of a blip. I feel like the blip is essentially just one game against Bristol because the draw against Watford's fine. But I suppose there has been a
they didn't play well against Watford or Blackburn, who they somehow beat.
Or Swansea, and how we
Swansea.
somehow beat
Swansea.
It's literally
or Southampton.
A blip. It's more a slow decline.
Yeah,
kind of performance that we've witnessed recently. And I guess the trend of this slow decline, we've said it over and over again in every week, is it's kind of all come from a midfield kind of issue.
What midfield?
Well, that's it.
That's midfield? The thing. It's RIP Crooks, isn't it?
Yeah. So trying to call any kind of game at the moment with Crooks not there and Lunny not kind of being anywhere near like he wants to be, and Regan is running everywhere.
No Coyle, no Matazo still. Yeah, it's tough. And although it's not worked in the last couple of games, I think he will stick with the back five just because of midfield numbers. I think Hughes will come in for McCarthy alongside Egan and McNair, Panda in for Phillips, and then McBurney in up front, maybe Gelhardt for Hirakawa, but then other than that, it'll stay identical to Chelsea.
I don't really want us to play back five at home to QPR, but you might.
It could work if we get like McNary like kind of push up into that CDM.
We've now tried it a few times this season, the back three, the back five, and it's not worked once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He changed. I can remember Norwich, especially when the first half it was, Or was that the other way around? Was that the other way around where he changed?
No. You were right. No, he started with the back five and then he swaps it around. You were right the first time.
Yeah.
That game was just painful, and we kind of loved him after
we won it 2-0.
Yeah, well, no, we loved him after the change, though, didn't we? Like the turnaround of it. So
No, he started with a back four in that game. He brought Ajay on at half time for Amir. It was the other way around.
Really?
You'd have to be brave to concede 10 gilt-edged chances in the first half and then move from a back five to a back four.
Yeah, but
It's asking to lose at that point.
Yeah, so it worked for us earlier in the season when we had to swap to it. Like against Wrexham, when we started with it, it worked really effectively. Ajay played well, Regan played well, Hugh. No, hang on. He started with a 4 against Wrexham as well, didn't he? He brought Egan.
You're not helping yourself here at all, Joe, by getting all these games wrong.
Yeah, I know. I'm just going to move on. Let's do predictions. So, despite QPR's injuries, they have still got quite a decent side to field. I like Saito. Ronnie Edwards at the back's a good player. Jimmy Dunn's dependable. Reece Norrington-Davis has done well at this level over the years for Sheffield United. That rings a bell.
They're trash.
Brilliant.
I'm
gonna go 2-1 City. I think QPR will score, but I think I'm gonna go 2-1.
Will?
Well, I'm not going to predict something that someone else already predicted. I'll go 1-0 City.
Yeah. We got to win, haven't we? I'll be
I'm not going to predict us to lose twice in a row. Not a chance.
No.
I refuse.
No. We've had a better season than that, haven't we? Yeah. Christian?
I might join Louise and the bot and do a bit of a 1-1. I know. Don't hate me for it. But it's just that typical look, like you say, they haven't scored away. And it's a City thing, isn't it? So give them a goal. But we'll probably get that one. Missed 2 open goals. So, yeah, 1-1.
Okay. Well, you used to do this all the time, and you've been right twice against QPR with this result over the last three years. So I'm going to go 3-0 City. I just think things are going to click. Resting some of the players will have helped, and it's more in hope than expectation, because I've seen some people comment about the home form. The home form's actually points-wise or win-wise, it's actually exactly the same as it is away. But it's just the fear of us over the last 2 years, the home form, especially like kind of late in the year under Rosenior, and sort of not getting into the playoffs after a good start to the season, kind of the fear of that happening again. But I think we've got enough to beat QPR. They're average. So we'll have I don't genuinely believe this, but let's go 3-0. Why not? 3-0 City. Coxie goes 2-2.
Do you genuinely believe any of the predictions you say?
I predict no. The only one.
He definitely believed the 6-6 draw with Blackburn in the cup.
Yeah.
Well, it could have been 6-6 on penalties. I can't believe I got a point for that. Now, when I said we were going to beat Southampton 7-5, I believed that. But everything else, not really. Coxie says, remember the pitch will be in awful condition. I mean, I do think that the next few games favour us in terms of the style of play that the opponents have. So that's why I'm basing it off that. And I think QPR, maybe their season's just kind of falling away a little bit. And hopefully we can just have better finishing up front. And maybe Gelhardt will get back on the scoring run.
Yeah, of course. It's the World Club Challenge this week, isn't it? So it's going to be one. It's going to be a very used pitch come QPR, especially Derby as well. Before it gets
use the pitch an excuse when they did as well as they did against Preston.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. Derby are used to a bad pitch, to be fair to them, aren't they?
They are. I
mean, we should be, really.
Yeah.
The stadium is looking very red, wouldn't you say, Will? You won't have seen that they've plastered Hull KR logos over everything at the ground already.
Have they?
Yeah. All over Hull FC's stomping ground, which I'm sure you'll find hilarious.
I mean, it's not as funny as KR's result the other night, which, as a KR fan, even I found was quite funny.
But they had an easy game, didn't they?
Oh, they did well in it.
Who was it that they were playing? Was it a promoted team?
Yeah, it was York.
It might as well have been a bunch of 5-year-olds. So they'd have still beaten KR that night.
Yeah. Well,
anyway,
we've devolved into rugby chat here, so we better start wrapping this up. No more
yeah, I'd rather talk about something like the Winter Olympics, which we're really good in.
Yeah.
Suddenly.
Well, you can join us on our new spin-off show to
Milan and Cortino and back.
Cortino and back, yeah. Anything else to mention on the show?
Up the Tigers.
Release the Epstein files.
Yeah. Keep politics out of football, Will.
The registration.
Oh God, go on, Joe. Do a list. Go on.
The registration docs came out this week, which I pored over for all of 5 minutes until I worked out that the only players not in it were Bellumi, Matazo, and Cartwright, but that Dean Holden said they'd left space to add Bellumi and Matazo back in if and when fit.
Cool. Oh, well.
Oh, and Akintola, by the way. And Akintola, he's not in it.
We're literally just trying to find
disgraceful behaviour.
Open windows. Tinsdale's back, isn't he? He was on the bench, wasn't he, for Chelsea? Yeah. Well, that's good. I mean, he's not going to play, but good on him.
He'll play 21, so good for him.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad he's fit and healthy. So, well, everyone who's commented in and joined us on tonight's episode, thank you ever so much, as always. Hope you've enjoyed it. We'll be back after an absolute cruising win for City to continue the playoff charge, and of course be looking forward to watching a game that's very important to us, Coventry Middlesbrough, tomorrow night. Hopefully Middlesbrough can do us a favour and we can maybe catch Coventry as they're kind of falling
in the title race. Get the title race back on track. Jesus.
Absolutely. That would be lovely. So, Will, Joe, Christian, thanks for joining me. And up the Tigers. See you all next week. Bye for now.